Hello guys, what's up and welcome to the new tutorial from the SketchUpArchStudio. In this tutorial we will talk about Lumion interior rendering. So if you want to learn how you can create some hyper realistic renders in Lumion, watch this video till end. Let's get to work. I'm gonna start my job with the photo in here. So I'm gonna click on the photo at the right side, move my camera with the grid lines, something like that, and my eye level is some number about 0.8 for example, and the focal length is some number between 20 and 30. So I prefer to use some number about maybe 19.7 millimeter, and I want to use some type of horizontal eye level. Now I have some straight camera view, and I'm gonna click on the store camera, or I can press Ctrl plus number 1 and render number 1 took him for me in here, and now I stored it in here. Before I continue my job, I can click on the files, and I want to save as, for example, some type of test render, and press save. It takes a little bit of time, and after that Lumion will save it for you. I will come back to the photo mode, and I'm gonna start my job with the custom style. I use some type of realistic rendering. It takes a little bit of time, and after that these options apply for your job. You can start your job with the skylight, or you can turn it off and disable the effect. Go to the effects and add your effect and click on the sun option. Right now you can play with the sun height in your job and sun heading. So I prefer to use sun heading, for example, maybe something like that, and height of it something like this. So I really like these type of lighting because it's include all of the environments related to the interior design. And if I increase the sun brightness, I can see more brightness in my area. But some number like this is good, and I don't want to change it too much. So I can go a little bit far than the target and model. For example, maybe some eye level about 1.1 is acceptable, and I'm gonna store the camera in here. So it's good for me. Now I can play with the sun height, something like that, and I'm gonna close it in here. Another important effect is the sharpen. I'm going to click on the sharpen and increase the intensity to create some sharp render from my area. After that we have exposure. I can increase the exposure to some number about 0.66 estimately, and color correction. Color correction is one of the important elements in Lumion. You can change the temperature very simple and easy with the tint color plus brightness and contrast, something like that. Saturation can be increased to the 101, and gamma correction is good. Limit high and limit low is really important, so try to keep them in the safe distance from the camera. I'm going to turn it back. Another material is the reflections, so I'm going to click on the reflection, and speed ray reflection is on. I'm going to click on the edit reflection planes. So when you do this job, you can click on the add plane and select your surface. For example, I want to add all of my surface related to the floor, and I want to remove number 1. Now it's selected for me. And if I increase the flicker reduction plus reflection threshold and click on it to have some type of preview render, I can see what's really happening in my job. So I'm gonna store the camera in here. Everything is good. Now time for the hyperlight. Hyperlight helps you to create these type of dark areas much brighter. So when I increase the hyperlight, I can see some effects in my render, very simple and easy. A skylight is not really useful, and the point is that when you use sunlight, you can't use a skylight or real sky or something like that. About the shadows, I'm going to turn it to the interior shadow, increase the brightness of the shadows. Coloring plus shadow of the sun range is really important. You can play with it to create best distance for your job. Shadow type is the hard shadow, but I prefer to use normal plus soft shadow. And shadow correction, completely correct and optimize your shadows. So Another important effect is the chromatic aberration. And despite of the landscape, you only have some parameter, you can increase it or decrease it. Chromatic aberration has three important parameters: dispersion, affected area, and safe shadows. When I increase the dispersion, you can see what's really happening in your camera, and your image will be a little bit faded out in some edges. And when I decrease the affected area, I can control and reduce it very simple and easy. Plus, safe shadows are really important in this job. So, last and important effect is the depth of field. I'm going to click on the depth of field, increase the amount option as I can, and now I can choose I want some foreground focus or background focus. So, I'm going to switch it to the background as I can. Focus distance is really important and it helps you which type of places you want to focus. I want to focus on these shoes, bed, and plants. So I can play with the focus distance. Plus, sharp area size is really important. So you can manage it and play with it very simple and easy. And it helps you to generate best renders for your job. So something like that is something like this is really good and wonderful. And I'm gonna turn it back. I can click on the add effects to see what's new for me. Sun, shadow, reflection, all of them is done. Hyperlight used, and global illumination. Right now we don't need it, but if you add it to your environment, you can increase the sun amount in some places with the fall off speed. It's not bad, but because we don't have any type of spotlight right now, we can use it or don't use it. It doesn't big matter for you. So handheld camera is really important. So I'm gonna play with the focal lengths, something like that, for example, some area like this, and another effect related to the 2-point perspective. It's on, and after that we need the another effect like the lens flare. So I'm going to click on the lens flare and increase the master brightness. As you can see, we have these type of effects in our job, but it's not really good, so try to use it in some normal number. Bloom amount, if I increase it, look at this part of your job, it will completely re-expose the light. And I'm going to start with the top of it, streak intensity. When I decrease it, the total power of the lens flare will decrease. Streak rotation can be changed. Streak count can be increased. Streak dispersion related to the dispersing your faded area and lights. Streak fall off is not really useful right now. Bloom amount can be decreased, and master brightness can be controlled in some good number. Anamorphic plus ghosting is related, and hollow amount is good. And lens dirt can be increased a little bit, something like that. So another effect in the scene and animation, not really useful. In the weather, I think maybe fog option can affect our interior render a little bit, not too much. Something like that, for example. So another effect for the these type of render, I think about the colors. So I'm gonna pick up the vignette and play with the vignette softness. Some number about 0.8 is good. The vignette amount can be increased or decrease, something like that. I will come back to the build part of my job, material, and I'm going to select these wood panels in here, colorization, convert it a little bit to the color like this, reduce your glossiness, increase your reflectivity, and relief. I'm going to click on the save changes. Another material I really want to change it is the floor, so I'm going to click on it, increase the reflectivity as I can to create some better realistic render, plus relief option, and I will come back to the photo, camera number 1, and this is what we have in here. I will change the reflection modifier in here, flicker reduction, reflection threshold, as I can. and preview quality is on the low mode. I can change it to the normal mode, and now I can see better reflections in my area. So I want to hold it on the normal mode in here, play with it to reach to the better result for the job. Something like this is really good. So everything is done for me. I will come back to the build mode, indoor, select it, and move it a little bit to the left side, and I can click on it and rotate it a little bit, something like that, to create better view of my job. I can move this vase a little bit in here and increase it in the size, and for this one too I can click on the select, move it and rescale it a little bit. Everything is done for me. Deselect all, and now photo. Everything is done, and time for the rendering. So I'm gonna store the camera another time. Click on the render photos as the desktop quality, and I want to save it on my desktop and call it bedroom in Lumion and press save. It depends on your system and your graphic card. It will take several minutes after that, or seconds. After that you can see the final result, very simple and easy, on your Lumion software. If you are beginner, Lumion or Enscape is one of the best choices for the starting your rendering in 3D visualizing world, and it's really easy to use. If this content is useful for you, you can like and subscribe our YouTube channel and turn on the notification to see what's new every week or every day. This is the final job that we created. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Thanks for your watching. Thanks for your support. I love you, and goodbye.